Namaste. Let us begin with our pranams to Sri Ramakrishna. In the earlier episode, we have taken up a study of learning English, improving our language from Sri Ramakrishna's story in the forest of the world. Now let us see how Sri Ramakrishna gives a moral to that story and also try to understand what the story was. In the previous part, we read the story that a man was going through a forest. There were three robbers who came and he was robbed of everything which he had. The first robber wanted to kill him. So this is a symbol. You must remember, the first robber is a symbol. The second robber said, let's not kill him, let's tie him. The third robber came and released him and also showed him the direction to the house. But the third robber could not go to the house because he was scared that the police would catch him. This is what we read in the story. Now, following this narration, Sri Ramakrishna gives a beautiful explanation. And that explanation I'm putting here by sharing the rest of the story in the form of the slide. So you can see, you can read it for yourself. I'll quickly go through it. The world itself is a forest. So everything here is a comparison. It is a metaphor. Sri Ramakrishna is using comparisons to show. He says that the world is like the forest because the man was going through the forest. So we are living in the world. We are passing through a forest, our journey. Now he begins to tell us about the robbers. Now, who are these robbers? These are the gunas. You know, all of us have these gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas. These three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, are described as the robbers because although they are within us, they are stealing our possessions. They are taking away our possessions. And what is the worst thing that they are doing? They are taking away the knowledge of truth. So we lose that discernment. We lose that ability to get the knowledge of truth if these robbers take from us. So we came across the word possession. Possession is compared to knowledge of truth. The first robber is tamas. What does tamas do? Tamas wants to kill him, to kill the man. That means to destroy the man. The man is every human being, all of us. Rajas, the second robber. The second robber says, no, what is the use of killing him? Let us save him, but imprison him. So Rajas binds him to the world. Rajas ties him down. You know, we call it as Maya. Constantly we are thinking about what shall we eat? What shall we wear? What shall we buy? How shall we earn? We are totally tied up in the world. Sattva is the third robber. Does not protest in the beginning, but comes and rescues the man from Rajas and Tamas. He says, come, I will remove your bondage. And then Sattva takes, the man towards his house. So what does Sattva do? Sattva makes the person get rid of anger, of passion, and other ill effects of tamas. Tamas has a lot of bad qualities which are within all of us. Please do not think that only, Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva are there in somebody else. This is how our ancient literature tells us that everybody has a guna, and that guna we need to speak about. Let me go back to the screen sharing. I think there has been a problem. I will share the shorter screen now. So Sattva is also a robber. It cannot give man the ultimate knowledge of truth. So what are we looking for? We are looking for knowledge of truth. That is the house. You can go, Sattva can lead you to the house, but Sattva cannot go with you to the house because, it shows, okay, police are there. So it can set you on the path, and that is the abode of God. I told you, these are all spiritual stories. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to give spiritual education to his disciples. Therefore, he is using a story like this. It is a spiritual story. Then what is the ultimate aim of life? The ultimate aim of life is to realize our oneness with Brahman. Brahman is the cosmic consciousness. We have our individual small consciousness, small energy, small soul. There is the cosmic soul. So when we go with the help of Sattva, we go in the right direction with our self-effort, with the grace of God, we are able to reach the ultimate idea. So now, based on this story, we try to analyze our everyday experiences. What we have to get rid of? We have to get rid of tamas first. So what is tamasic in us? Our attitudes, our thoughts, our words, actions, everything can be tamasic. A person who's very irritable, a person who's easily depressed, a person who shouts when he or she gets angry. These are all the ways in which tamas shows. Excess of laziness. We want to sleep throughout the day. We don't want to do anything gainful. We want quick results. By cheating others, we get those results. All these are the qualities of tamas. Therefore, it is up to you to look at your actions and see, are you behaving in a tamasic way? Are you thinking in a way which shows that the maximum guna in yourself is tamas? You have to identify it yourself. Sri Ramakrishna is showing you that, they are robbers, they are there to rob you. But don't we protect ourselves from robbers? I remember visiting, Shani Temple, Shani Singnapur. There it seems houses don't have doors and windows. But in our city, in Hyderabad or in Pune, every house has a door and a window. We lock it all up because we want to protect ourselves. Therefore, we recognize that we have it. There are robbers everywhere, but how will we protect ourselves? By controlling tamas, by escaping from tamas. When the robber called tamas comes to kill us, we do self-preservation. All our negative qualities, all our lethargic qualities, all our evil tendencies, these are tamasic. So if we can identify what is wrong with us, we can conquer tamas. That means we have done away with one robber. We have saved ourselves from that one robber who wanted to kill us. Slightly higher is rajasic qualities. So all of us have the quality of rajas. Rajas is activity. Rajas says that no need to kill him. Don't destroy him. Keep him alive. But keep him alive, keep him imprisoned. They bound him. You remember the story we read earlier? Rajas is binding you. Rajas is sticking you to the world. It is giving you a worldly picture. Many people who do not have faith think that this birth and this death is the beginning and end. But that is not really true. That is just a phase in our lives. This, if we can understand, then we will not do anything wrong. People who do a lot of activity, it might be a negative activity, like protest, like throwing stones or breaking buildings or burning buses. This also is Rajasic, they are doing activity. But this is Rajas overshadowed by Tamas. You're destroying. Good Rajasic activity is also there. We are always busy, I'm helping somebody, I'm doing something, house is clean, I'm cleaning again, no problems in the locality. Still, I'm organizing a meeting to talk to everybody in the locality. I'm trying to do everything. And social media gives us a lot of activity these days. So you can imagine how Rajasic we are becoming. We are bound to that cell phone that, the Rajas keeps us there. We see wonderful things, we see wonderful videos, but are we really going towards a higher evolution? Are we really improving by using this quality? We find that no, so much activity, even if it is good activity, is not allowing us to become better. You say, oh, I'm such a great person. I'm helping everybody. I'm doing so much. During COVID time, I helped 1,000 people. All Rajasic. It is finally the ultimate is you're doing good, but that good is not leading you towards truth. That good is not leading you towards Brahman. Ultimate result, ultimate authority of our minds is this concept, and that the concept is the concept of Rajas, which is holding us. Now, the highest point, we started with Tamas, lowest, middle, Rajas, and then Sattva. So Sattva is a very good quality. It is a quality of gentleness. It is a quality of empathy. It is a quality of generosity, goodness, helpful nature. That is what Sattva is. Remember the robber? He says, come, I will remove your bondage. Come, follow me. I will show you the way to reach the city, to reach your house. I will show you the way. That is most important. So those who have a sattvic quality, some people are very fortunate. They are born with this quality. That is why in our culture, we believe in, prarabdha karma. We say that it is the rebirth. It is the cycle of births which we purify ourselves. Not that God is cruel. He makes one person brilliant and one person foolish, one rich and one poor. Not necessary. It is because of your karma that you become brilliant, you become rich, you become comfortable, or you become famous. Not because of any God who's, partially giving some people good things and some people bad things. We don't have such a concept at all in our culture. So we should remember that to be sattvic is good, but to be sattvic is not the end of the road. The end of the road is Brahman. End of the road is realization. And we have to begin to do this in our youth. Remember that if we do it when we are very old, nothing will be achieved. Because in old age, we do not achieve anything. So if you want to get the knowledge of Brahman, begin at a very young age. Remember when Swami Vivekananda and other disciples came to Sri Ramakrishna, they were in their teen ages. They were hardly in their early 20s, some of them. They were not old people. Old people did not come. So the entire process began by training these youngsters to realize Brahman. And with their help, for us to realize. So if you think spirituality is for my old age, it is not for me, it is not for now, that is not correct. You must recognize that you have to start doing it at this point of time. Therefore, if you want some benefit, if you want some self-improvement, then you have to start by looking at yourself. Suppose you start your daily activities. I'm just giving you a general description of a day. I will stop sharing the slide now because we don't need this anymore. We are now talking about how we have to imbibe these three gunas, identify them, get rid of whatever is not necessary. For the first level, that is tamasic. So we start by identifying from the morning. Monday morning, you wake up. Then what happens? You feel, oh my God, again I have to go. If you're a student, you have to go to college. If you're an employee, you have to go to office. If you're doing some other activity, you have to do that. You say, I don't want to do it today. I'm feeling terrible. I want to not do anything today. So, predominance of tamasic quality. First waking moment we can make out. Some people jump out of bed. They say, oh, today I have so many things. I have to meet my friends. I have to do this. I have to go for a movie. I have to, finish my homework. So many things. Rajasic. All of them are activities, but activities which are binding you. Activities which are not leaving you free for your work. Suppose you wake up with the sattvic thought that today, how many people can I help? I remember when we were in school, every week we had to say in class, we were small, maybe 5th class, 6th class, that have we helped 10 people in this week? So we had to remember whom are we helping. So we had a joke, in front of our school, there was a big road. And to finish that good deed of the day, some people would take, a blind beggar is on this side. They say, come, I'll make you cross the road. The beggar doesn't want to cross the road. He or she wants to remain here. But I'm doing my good deed. So I take and then I bring back. I say, okay, see, you're in the same place. You can't see, so I helped you. 2 good deeds finished. That is senseless, don't you think? If we are doing really something good, it should be meaningful. It should make some sense. So when we have the sattvic quality also, we should rationalize that, yes, today I have to do my good deed. Today I will do something which is very good. So right from the moment we wake up, we can be tamasic, we can be rajasic, or we can be sattvic. Who can tell us? Now, we are not sharing our innermost thoughts with anybody. We only know ourselves. Others do not know what we are thinking. Therefore, please understand that whenever we are looking at an experience, I gave you the waking moment. Now, the same thing can be applied to the last moment before your sleep, just before your sleep. Can you identify all the areas in which you either behaved with a lot of tamas or a lot of rajas or a lot of sattva? This is important. Suppose you are going, to help your friend. Somebody asks you, so please give me your manual, or please give me your notes. Please give me how, the procedure, how you did this assignment. Tamasic. You keep promising. You say, yes, I will give. I will certainly give. But you never give. The exam comes. You promised a colleague in your company that you will help. In your office, you will help that person. Every day that person is asking. Every day you're postponing. That is tamasic, because tamas is stopping us from doing anything positive. Now, when you are rajasic, you sit in the exam hall. Your friend says that I did not study for the exam. So you're very helpful. You say, okay, come, you copy from whatever I've written. You take my paper and you copy. Activity, but is it right activity? Is it activity which is moral? Is it ethical? Is it something you should do? No. So we have lost discrimination in the idea that we are being helpful. But that is not help. Because if any friend helps you to cheat in the examination or cheat in life, that friend is not a friend. That friend is an enemy. You must remember. In your office, in your workplace, if somebody helps you to escape or to do something from the back door, that person is not your friend. We say, oh, you are my best friend. That is only our ignorance. And that ignorance is what comes from these gunas. So sometimes activity is wonderful. Sometimes activity is incorrect. It is misconceived. But we must remember that all activities which we undertake are activities which are impelled by Rajas. Rajas does not have that ability to find out which is good and which isn't. So Rajas says, okay, like the story, I will remind you the story once more. Between the two evils, you choose one. Don't kill, but don't allow him to get free. So the lesser evil, you're not choosing good, you're choosing a lesser evil. Very often we do that. Very often we make a choice which is not a very desirable choice. So how will we understand this? We remember the story. Whenever a crisis comes in our life, whenever an indecision comes in any situation in life, we should remember the three robbers. And we say, okay, now which robber is confusing me? Is it tamas which is confusing me? Saying, I'll kill you, I'll kill you? Then that is not correct. Is it rajas that is confusing me? Is it rajas that is making me choose the wrong choice, not the right one? I remember in property disputes, you have, a lot of rajasic activity. Say, oh, I'm going to earn so much and I'm going to leave it to my children and my grandchildren, etc. Wonderful. But by leaving it to your children and grandchildren, you are killing their ability to earn. You might find that almost all the crimes, almost all the violations which we find are done by children of rich people. They already have a lot of wealth. They don't have to work hard to earn. So what happened? The rajas of the earlier generation became the tamas of the younger generation. So can you understand how important Sri Ramakrishna's story is, how relevant it is, and how simply he tells it? It's so easy to remember the three robbers and look around us. Oh, the three robbers are all around us because they are sitting inside and all the time they are guiding us. So we should take guidance from Sattva. Sattva is good. Sattva is able to guide us because in the forest of the world, we are lost. We are not able to see anything. There are so many trees and plants that we cannot find our way back to the city. So Sattva comes. Sattva says, come, let me show you. This is the desire for spiritual benefit. Now, suppose somebody tells you that spirituality is important. You say, oh my God, spirituality bores me. Then you are tamasic. If you are leaving spirituality and going to something else, say, okay, spirituality after 20 years, now I will do other activities. You are rajasic. So who is sattvic? Sattvic is the one who chooses spirituality by saying, okay, I have a spirit, I have an inherent power or energy within me. Like Swami Vivekananda says, all power is within you. What is this power? This power is your soul, your spirit, your energy. That needs the guidance of sattva. So you take the sattvic concept, you take the goodness by saying, okay, I choose to be spiritual. That choice sattva helps you to make. Yes, I want to go home. That is what the man says. So the sattva will release you from your rajasic bonds, from your tamasic danger of life, and it will lead you to the house. But ultimately, you are on your own, because after the forest is over, sattva will say, you go. I cannot lead you to that point because I do not want to go beyond the forest. I will remain in the world. These are all the worldly gunas. So in the world, but if we want evolution, all of us have a mind, a consciousness, and this consciousness is evolving. Our sages in the ancient times did a lot of experiments with the mind. Sri Ramakrishna was the culmination, the ultimate of all the thousands of years of experiment. So he puts the experiment in simple terms, which anybody can understand. Suppose a computer engineer comes, that person will tell me about my laptop in very technical terms. I can't understand. A lay person comes and says, okay, just switch it on and then, go to this program, go to that program, and then put on Zoom and do it. Okay, I'm able to do that. I don't need technical knowledge for it. Therefore, we have to remember that all our abilities, all our knowledge comes to us only up to the level of our capabilities. So we should measure our capabilities, take the help of our individual self, our consciousness, in order to identify rajas, tamas, and sattva, evolve our consciousness with the help of these gunas by discarding tamas, by controlling rajas, and by taking the help of sattva. Then we are on our own, only we and our consciousness. We have to carry out the experiment like all the great people in our country have done and continue to do. Finally, what we find is that we are reaching that point. It cannot be reached in a minute. It takes many births, hundreds and thousands of births. And starting from the time of Shankaracharya, everybody has been telling us that the human birth is very precious. So how to regulate our human birth? Look at Sri Ramakrishna, so kind, so generous, because by telling simple stories, he's giving us the right direction. So we completed the story, the forest, the world is the forest and there are robbers, etc. I would recommend that you read both parts of the story. Try to implement the story in your life by identifying all these things. All of us have to do it. Please understand, because I'm speaking to you doesn't mean that I don't have the problem which you have. I also need to regulate. I also need to, start the evolutionary process. And possibly your English also, you improve. With each, 2 episodes per month, first and third Mondays, we will take up one story. After doing a few stories, again, I will ask revered Sri Kanthanandaji Maharaj whether we should continue or we should change. So I stopped self-improvement, 22 episodes. Then I gave one general talk on the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, tales and parables, etc. And then I have come today to one story. This, these 2 parts finish this story. Next month, we will go on to another story, again 2 parts, one for improvement of English and the other for improvement of our personality, improvement of our being. Who are we? That. So these 2 parts joined together makes us a complete human being. That is what our aim is. Once more, we should remember that Ramakrishna Math Pune is taking the effort. All our pranams to Sri Kanthanandaji Maharaj and namaste to all of you. Till we meet next time.